In the second part of this video series, I'm going to quickly explain how we get the downloaded Landsat imagery from where we downloaded it in the last video into ArcGIS Pro. There's a quick file management step that we have to go through to be able to actually open it in ArcGIS. You can't just click the downloaded file and expect a satellite image to appear like on the right. In the last video, we navigated a query or a search on Earth Explorer, the USGS webpage that lets you access satellite imagery, and we downloaded a Landsat image. So let's look at how we process that and how we manage those files and ultimately open it in ArcGIS Pro. So if you remember from the last video, I saved my data with a pretty short path, so we got to access that within Windows Explorer to be able to extract it or unzip it. And I saved my data in local disk C data. In this case, I saved it in a sample folder and Landsat demo. So the only thing in there is this compressed archive folder. It's similar to a zip file. It's a TAR file, and that needs to be unzipped so that we can look at the stuff within it. So to unzip it, you can right-click it, click Extract All. I keep saying unzip. Extract is probably the more appropriate term. We'll click Extract All, and just by default, it will give you a location that's in the same folder, but it'll create a folder with the same name instead of this zipped file. I'm going to uncheck Show Extracted Files when complete because they'll show up here anyway, or at least the folder will, and then we can enter it. So Extract Archive, click Extract. This will give us a folder next to the compressed archive folder or the compressed file that we started with. Cool, so there it is. This will actually show us what this contains. And downloading a Landsat image, especially a processed Landsat image, it actually includes quite a lot of files. The ones we really care about for creating a composite image that looks similar to a photograph or a false color image or a false color photograph are these bands, B1, B2, B3, etc. And I'll show what those symbolize in a little bit, but each of them is basically the amount of radiation or reflectance in a different part of the electromagnetic spectrum. And we can put them together to get one of these images that looks like what we'd see in like a photograph. There's some other processed files which we're not too worried about for now. You can look into what these are on the Landsat website, but for now we're just worried mostly about the bands. Cool, so we know where these live now. They're extracted, so they should be accessible via Catalog in ArcGIS. Now we just have to open ArcGIS Pro and take a look. So I have ArcGIS Pro down here. You may have to search for it. It may be on your desktop. I'm just going to click it to open it, and we're going to start a new project that allows us to access these files. So after launching ArcGIS, we end up on this start page. We want to start a new project. I'm going to start it with a map, so we get just a base map that we're going to build on top of and layer this Landsat data on. So click Map. I am going to call it Landsat Demo, and I'm going to put the location in the same location where we saved that data to. That's really a key part of this that allows you to easily access that data without having to do too much more searching. So if I go back to Data, Sample, Landsat Demo, I'm just going to select the folder here. So you don't actually go into the folder where you want it, just select the folder. And the name's going to be Landsat Demo. I've already created that folder of Landsat Demo to house the data when we downloaded the data to that folder. So I don't want to create a new folder for this project, because if I did that, it would create a new folder called Landsat Demo inside Landsat Demo. As it is like this, if I unselect it, it's just going to create a project called Landsat Demo in the folder that already exists called Landsat Demo. So I'm going to click OK, and we get the project created. And we get the establishment of a base map upon which we can take a look at some of these bands. All right, there we go. And when you establish a new project in ArcGIS Pro, it already sets up a folder connection to the location you set up that project in. So if I expand folders and expand Landsat Demo, we already have access to that unzipped, extracted folder that holds all that Landsat data we were looking at. So if we expand that, we see everything that was in that folder. So there's a lot of different pieces, and it's really important to keep track of the different names. If we're just looking for visualizing one band, it's going to be one of these that ends in B1, B2, B3, etc. And again, when we look at compositing in the next video, how to put these bands together in different ways. I'll explain the differences between these bands. But for now, let's just look at what one of them looks like. So I'm going to drag B3, third band, into the map. We get that add data window, and shortly it should load. I'm doing this on a Surface Pro tablet because it's easier to record on a tablet, but it makes for some long load times for some of this stuff. It's not the most powerful computer. But here we go. It's adding. And eventually it successfully adds the single band to the image, and it also zooms in on it automatically. So here we have one band, data from one band shown here, and this is band 3. If we were to add another band, it would actually look pretty similar. All these individual bands are in grayscale. These aren't possible to simply make a color photo out of because they're only looking at the brightness in one part of the spectrum specifically. We'll look at that in the next video that comes after this, and look at exactly how we go from looking at a single band like this to making a composite image where we take multiple bands together and create a color image from that.